Welcome to today's episode of Make It Work. Here in this program, we deal with issues about empowerment, leadership, capacity building, relationship, and marriage. I want you to understand that nothing works unless someone works it. And to make it work, someone has to work it. So, make it work. And there is nothing you set your mind to achieve that you cannot achieve. I want to take that again. I want to understand that there is nothing that you set your mind to achieve that you cannot achieve. And that is what this program is about. This program is about empowering you, is about putting you in the right frame to be able to make anything to work. And today, we'll be dealing with the topic that says, turn adversity into advantage. Turn adversity into advantage. In Romans chapter 8, verse 28, the Bible says, all things worketh together for good to those that love God and to those who are called according to his purpose. I want you to understand that your life is what you make out of your life. In fact, you are actually what you make out of yourself. I also want you to understand that your circumstances are actually what you make of them. Please, let me take that again. You are what you make out of yourself. And your circumstances are actually what you make of them or out of them, which means that you don't have to allow your circumstances and situations to define you. You define them, and that is very important, and that's part of how to make it work. You need to define it yourself and then allow them to define you. Now, what is an adversity? Adversity is a tragedy, is a negative situation, is a negative condition. That's adversity. But you can turn this adversity to an advantage. Negative conditions, situations, and circumstances, you can turn them into advantage. And then how do you do that? Number one, you need to learn how to review your adversity. You need to ask yourself, what is the problem? To be able to turn your adversity into advantage, you need to review your adversity. Ask questions like, what is the problem? What is the source of the problem? And what is my own contribution to the problem? So these are things that you need to find out. Review the problem. Review the adversity. Review your adversity. At every point in time, you need to have a review of the negative things that happen to you or that are happening to you or that have happened to you. To turn them to advantage successfully, you need to review them. Ask questions. And those questions shouldn't be directed at anyone. It has to be directed to yourself. Direct them at yourself. What is the problem? Understand what the problem is. Now, also identify the source of the problem. Where is this adversity coming from? What is the source of this adversity? Again, you need to also ask yourself, what is my contribution to this adversity? Wow, very important. So if you have succeeded in reviewing your adversity by being able to ask what the problem is, and you've been able to also find out the source, And then you've done a work around finding out your own contribution to your own adversity. Because most people contribute to the adversity and then they end up looking for whose fault it is. The next thing you need to do is, having reviewed the adversity, you need to think of how you can act differently. How can you act differently? How can you act differently from how the adversity wants you to act? How can you respond differently from how your condition wants you to respond? So you need to begin to think of how you can act differently. Many people are defined by their adversity. Many people behave their adversity. Many people speak their adversity. In fact, the negative conditions they have found themselves in become their language, become their logo, become their identity, become their voice. So you need to think of how you can act differently. Again, you need to take responsibility and stop the blame game. Yes. Take responsibility and stop the blame game. Stop blaming your father. Stop blaming your mother, your friends, anybody. Take responsibility and stop the blame game. Stop blaming anybody and stop blaming everybody. And in fact, stop blaming yourself. Just take responsibility and avoid blaming yourself. You did it, or you contributed to it, or you got involved in it, and so what? So take responsibility is you, and stop blaming anybody, including yourself. Don't blame parents, friends, and all that. No. For you to take responsibility and stop the blame game, you need to know that your life is you, and you are your life. So take responsibility and stop the blame game. And then in addition, you need to avoid excuses and make progress. That's how to turn adversity into an advantage. Avoid excuses and make progress. Yes. Stop providing reasons why your life is not working. Yes. Rather, start making progress. Avoid excuses. There are 1,001 excuses and reasons why you couldn't become what you wanted to be, or why you couldn't get to where you wanted to get to in life. But all those are not necessary. Avoid excuses and make progress. And then again, you need to see yourself as having the creative power in your life. When you stop making excuses and you start making progress, you begin to see yourself as having the creative power in your life. Yes, see yourself as having the creative power, the capacity to turn things around, to make a positive contribution in your life, to make a positive contribution in your destiny and in your future. Again, you need to resolve to let go and forgive. Peradventure, people contributed to the adversity or negative situation or strategy or tragedy, or that thing that has happened to you that is bad may have come as a result of human contribution. People did it, people planned it, people executed it, or somebody or some people were supposed to do something in order for that negative thing not to happen, and they didn't do that, and so it happened to you, whether husband or wife, or friends or relative or family members, or your company, organization, or a place you're involved in, and all that. Friends, you need to resolve to let go and forgive. Yes, forgive and let go. When you forgive and let go, you remove the burden on yourself, and then you begin to see clearly. When you harbor hurts, pain, resentment, you blindfold yourself from seeing tomorrow and seeing the next level. So it is important that you begin to resolve to let go and forgive everybody, including yourself. Yes. Forgive everyone that was involved, and also forgive yourself. And then you begin to see and look for positive side of the situation. What is the positive side of this thing that have happened to me? Now, even though it must have brought tears out of your eyes, it must have made people to begin to see you in a very different way. It must have casted some aspersions on your integrity, on your reputation, and many people are just thinking and saying all manner of things. Friends, it's important that in this program that I make you understand the need for you to see that situation from a positive angle. Everything is not just as bad as they appear. They could bring out tears. They could make you feel very bad. They could make you feel abandoned, rejected. They could make you cry. They could make you lose all things. But I want you to begin to see the positive side of it. What is the aspect in it that good could be drawn out from? And then you begin to pay attention to that side. So see the positive side of the situation. Yes, it's adversity. What positive side does this adversity bring? Now, in view of this COVID-19 pandemic, the way we see life has changed. Our approach to life has changed. There's a lot of new normals coming up. There's a lot of change in almost every aspect of our lives. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought so much adversity in our economy, in our human relations, in a lot of things around us. But you see, you need to take advantage of the COVID-19 pandemic. First, by seeing the positive side of this pandemic. And I hope you understand that even while the pandemic was raging, several people were still making money in the pandemic. So see the positive side of the adversity. In times of famine, somebody brought ideas in Egypt, and that's when the pyramid of Egypt was built. Yes, the pyramid with which the food was stored became a new way, a new normal. So you need to see the positive aspect. I want you to also understand that adversity has a way of driving out ideas. So you can draw ideas, draw inspiration, draw a new normal, draw a breaking point out of adversity. So open your mind to the positive side of the adversity. Open your mind to the positive angle that the adversity is bringing. And finally, you need to start afresh. Yes, start afresh. To turn adversity into advantage, you need to see the positive side, the positive angle of that adversity, and then start afresh. Get started again. And not because of the adversity or some of the experience you've had, you say you're not doing this again, you're not doing that again. No. Get started again. Start afresh. And as you start afresh, as you start again, as you begin to take new, fresh, productive steps, you are going to be making results. You are going to be seeing results, making profits, seeing results, progressing and moving on to the next level of your life. Here in Make It Work, I believe that in turning your adversity into advantage, your life will experience a new dimension of meaning and relevance. Thank you very much for being part of today's episode, and I want you to also join us in the next episode. Thank you, and God bless you.